So I'm glad that the house I showed you all has stimulated great conversation amongst us. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your passionate comments. I really, truly appreciate each one of you. I like the fact that we are engaging, sharing ideas, giving one's opinion, but also staying in that realm where we respect each other. Respect that we can agree to disagree. So very happy about that. Thank you so much. I am also thankful to the homeowners that have allowed me to show and share their home. I hope we will be able to do part 2 where we show you, the rest of the home, and then maybe have a conversation. Do you think that's a good idea? Have an actual sit-down conversation with the homeowner. I'm also going to see if I can get some homeowners that live in the country that have not left, so they can share their perspective of being in the country, why they chose to stay, why they never left. Not everybody has left the country. Not everybody wants to leave the country, as tough as it may be. And not everybody is connected to somebody or is leading a corrupt life such that they are able to do things in the country. Not everybody wants to be in politics. Not everybody is related to or connected to a political powerhouse. Not everybody is interested in living a life where they are dependent on somebody to be able to get cuts or kickbacks or whatever. They just do their own thing. Slowly but surely they achieve that which they desire, which is a good life in Zimbabwe, building beautiful homes, sending their children to good schools, and being able to travel within and outside of Zimbabwe and the continent of Africa. Do you know there are people that live in Zimbabwe that vacation overseas because they choose to? They go to France, they go to Spain, they go to Portugal, they go to America, they go to England, Australia. They go to those places because they have the financial resources. They have been able to work for that. They have been able to run businesses without political affiliations. I think it's such a sad situation where we assume that if you are progressing here in Zimbabwe or anywhere on the continent of Africa, you have some political connection. It is true in some cases, but there are people that quietly live their comfortable lives in Zimbabwe as well as on the continent of Africa. So thank you for your passionate responses about this home. There are many more homes of people that have never left the continent that are doing well and will have no desire to leave. But let's discuss more about this idea of people coming back to Zimbabwe or coming back to the continent of Africa. There's too much negative stories, the way we view the continent amongst ourselves, without even the help of the other nationalities. We do it to ourselves. Once we add on that negative narration from everybody else other than an African, it is too much. So we now take that upon us and we say, no, and it's okay, Zimbabwe, pretty crappy, it's I would use a different word, but kwakashata. Sekunze kwemusha. If you know, you know. Yes, there's lots of problems. Yes, infrastructure is in shambles. Yes, the hospitals are not up to par. And yes, the schools, if you are Machembere like us, the schools are not the same as when we went to these same government schools. It's not the same. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. I believe there is room for lots of improvement, lots of change. Is it done overnight? I don't think so. Are there any changes? Is there any progress in some areas? I've seen good roads. I've seen clinics that are being opened by people that see the opportunity and the chance of developing this country. There are hospitals that are coming up. Should we have more of government hospitals and institutions doing more for the majority of the people? Absolutely. But in the meantime, is something changing? Is something happening? It is. It is. So let's continue the talk. Let's continue the conversation. If you have felt like I am attacking or belittling you as someone living in the diaspora, I would like to apologize profusely. That is definitely not the intent to infuriate you, to belittle you, to look down upon you. Absolutely not the intent. And for that, I apologize if that is what the perception has been. I want to encourage those with a mind to come home, that it is doable, and those who are wanting to stay outside, please continue to do you. Maybe you can have a peek into the goings on in the country or countries or the continent of Africa in general, because I do intend traveling and seeing other countries and enjoying the hospitality of the African people on the African continent. So you may just enjoy living on the African continent vicariously through me and other Africans that are choosing to come back. I do appreciate your support, seriously. So continue to enjoy, and maybe give me some pointers on what content you would like to see. Since you are not going to be here on the continent, we can share with you. I was raised in Mfakose myself, the location that I love dearly. I am proud of being a Mufakosian and I love going back there to see the place and spend time with other people, that relatives, friends that are still living there. So I don't have no shame in showing you that part of my beginnings. I also have no shame in showing you that that is the reality of other Zimbabweans. That's how they live. But even back then, before the country became what it is now, kudhara ikoko zvinhu zvichakabatanidzika. There were people who were living kunonzi kuiku, kuma Beatrice cottages, ne ku Westwood. That's, I'm speaking about Harare now. Those were the dales of the Africans. There were still people like us who were living Kumfakosoku, because my parents could not afford Westwood. They could not afford Beatrice cottages. Not everybody has the same amount of resources, good people. I think it's nice to celebrate those that have been able to push themselves to limits so they can accumulate or acquire the material things that we all are leaving the country for. So I am not putting those people down. I am one of them. Ngazalelwa eMbare mina, ndakazvarirwa kuMbare, ngakhulela eMfakose, ndikakurira kuMfakose. And then I grew up, went to the School of Nursing, Harare Hospital, Parire Nyatwa Hospital. Those are my stomping grounds. And then I left the country and went to Botswana, went to Canada, went to America. But the whole journey has taken me right back to this country, because that is what I choose. So if you choose to stay in the diaspora the rest of your life, that is perfectly fine. If you choose to come back to the African continent, you don't have to come back to Zimbabwe. If I could find a place along the ocean, on the coastline, if I had the money, I would be buying myself a coastline villa. Mozambique, I love Mozambique. I've been to Ghana, I love Ghana. They have the coastline. South Africa, they have a coastline. There are beautiful places there. Go to Mozambique, I would go to Ghana, because I've loved the coastlines of those countries. I do love Cape Town. If I could afford Cape Town, I would go there. You don't have to come to Zimbabwe. You don't have to stay in Zimbabwe. You don't have to feel like you have to come back to this. But we are here and we're saying there are some people that also have made that same choice to come back and they are loving it. So if you feel offended, I apologize profusely, but I hope you still continue to support me and enjoy the rest of my travels in and around Zimbabwe or outside of Zimbabwe. I've traveled in England, I've lived and traveled in Canada and the USA. I still find myself coming back to the continent. These are indeed hardworking Zimbabweans that have allowed me to see their home and showcase it. They chose to build a comfortable home for themselves in the land of their birth. The home is in Harare, period. The home, that beautiful home, is in Harare, Zimbabwe. We can't take that away from the country. It's a beautiful home right in the city, in the capital city of Harare. And it's beautiful. If we take that message, that beautiful things can happen in Zimbabwe, despite poor hospitals, poor schools, poor roads, poor everything, poor railway system. People still have their homes and their beautiful homes. The garden at this house is meticulously designed, planned, and taken care of by a very capable, yes, very capable gardener, landscaper. Tozle Saungwe, the work that you're doing, Togo, keep it up. So support New Earth Nursery and Landscaping if you want that kind of garden. Could this house have been built in California or Georgia or Texas? I believe so, but the owners chose Zimbabwe. So let me repeat. If you want to come and live in Zimbabwe, it is livable. It is possible. It is doable, yes. Do we have hardships? Yes. Changing our mindsets about how we view the continent is really important. I'm not saying we lie about the difficulties of this continent. I'm not saying we lie about the hardships that people face in Zimbabwe, but being mindful of the fact that the more negative mindset we have, the more the country and the continent continues to be viewed by the rest of the world as being a shithole. Those were the words of somebody. Do we have to lie about how tough it is in Zimbabwe? No, it is tough here. And for those people with no jobs, no source of income, it is really tough. Even for those with resources, it is tough as well. They also do not have water, city water running in their taps daily. There is no garbage collection regularly. There is no good hospital choices. The list is endless. But we carry on. We adjust. Jojo tanks, water tanks, solar systems, because there's no electricity. Whatever it is that you can do to make your life easier in this country, that's what you do. I do not live my life thinking of being sick. I'm quite aware I am not going to be on this earth forever. What I ask the Creator is to give me a long, healthy life. But I have to make the choices, the lifestyle choices that will help me have longevity. Eating right, this is why I enjoy eating food that I grow, that I tend to. I have the chickens, I have the garden, I do that for me. And that is my way of ensuring that my body keeps healthy, so I stay away from the doctor. I don't live my life thinking or wanting to be sick. Why would I want to go to hospital? In the event that I have to go to hospital, there are places here that I can go to. There are hospitals that are being built that are here in Harare, in Bulawayo, that people can go to. There are people bringing the idea of first world hospitals and clinics, and they are building, remodeling, renovating the structures that are in this country already. So if in the event that I have to use a hospital facility or a clinic, there are places that I can go to. Let's not make it look like everything outside of this country or this continent is perfect, good people. Yes, they have spaghetti roads. They have freeways or motorways. The roads have no potholes. But there are areas, they might be hidden to most of you, that are dilapidated, that are pathetically dirty, that are so unsightly. They are there. They're there. But when you go there, you choose the place that suits you. You work hard so you don't live in the ghetto. You work hard so you live in a better place. You send your children to better school districts and all that. So let's not make it look like America doesn't have issues, Canada doesn't have issues, England doesn't have issues. They have. They have. So, in conclusion, I once again say thank you for the comments, thank you for the feedback, thank you for the active conversation. I will continue to share the homes of people that allow me into their homes and to share, and they show the beauty of this country. I also have no shame in sharing with you the township that I grew up in, Mfakose. I also will share with you the places and townships that I go to. That's the life that is in this country. Even where you are, not everybody lives in mansions. In the meantime, we enjoy the goodness. Please share my videos. I'm showing you the good places in Zimbabwe. I show you the places I travel to. If you have any places that you want me to show, let me know about it. Reach me on my email. Put it in the comments and I'll definitely show. I am not trying to be controversial here. I'm just trying to have a good time. So let's share, let's debate, and let's remain good friends. In the meantime, take care of yourselves wherever you are and take care of each other. Let's support each other. Let's be respectful to each other. Let's enjoy the short time that we have on this Mother Earth. With that, I say bye. Watch the next video and comment.